левому флангу! Противник на северо-востоке! Противник! Северо-запад! Противник на юге! Они атакуют с юго-востока! Зависший противник на юго-западе! Вражеская...
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tier 1, Round 9, I believe, in Russia, and we have a near full grid today. The first time in what feels like forever. And for the first time in forever, I am solo. Yeah, nobody likes me, so nobody showed up today. I'm solo in the booth. We have telemetry running, hopefully, fingers crossed. I can't actually check. But yeah, we're in Russia. Too bad everyone showed up for the most boring track on the calendar. I mean, you know what? While everyone's in the pits, I am going to go check that telemetry is running. And I can see that it is. That is all good. Oh, wait. No, yeah. Okay, that's working. Great. Yeah, I mean, first time in forever that we actually have, what are those called again? Oh yeah, grids. We have 19 drivers, a lot of them new, so it is going to be, I mean, just absolutely fascinating to see everyone's relative pace. I'm not really sure. I saw, I run our recruiting, our bot watching thing. Anyway, I can see the recruit channel, the F1 recruit channel, and I can tell you that some of these guys are racing at pretty high AI levels. I think some of the new reserves that just came in today, including, I believe, this is, I'm gonna have to say LW2. That's such a, okay. Vinny, Rickson, LW2, and Nick, I think I read that they were all pretty fast. So, I mean, we're going to have to just see how this plays out. I think we could have some real competition at the front today. And, maybe a bit of a split grid with some of the slower guys at the back. And that is a spin immediately for Stewie 3K. Very unfortunate. Not what you want to see. I mean, in fact, I believe we can get that on replay. Just to humiliate him further. I'm going to drop audio settings just a touch. They should still be audible. Yeah, this is going to be fine. Baron Keller did get past, but he is coming into the pits because he came out on inters. That's great. Let's check. Yeah, that's inters. Not sure how and or why he came out on intermediate tires, but there we have it. Throttle on the mediums. Honestly, I've seen him race. I don't think he has the pace against this grid to get in the top 10, especially not with 20 people here. The bottom three, LW2, Vinny, and Rickson, both, I mean, all three of them, because both obviously can't be used for 3 people, thank you. But, all three of them are, or from what I can tell, pretty quick, having seen absolutely none of their racing before. But we're going to be following along with Stewie, who is on the softs. They're going to be trying for the mediums. I'm not exactly sure what the pit strategy is here. I do believe it is a soft medium. At least it has been in previous seasons, so that is what we'll be expecting. Stewie obviously setting a purple sector because no one's really hammering it in their outlaps. We'll have to see how his time does, and he's coming through now. I believe this is turn 10 down onto a DRS straight. That's not really a straight, but half of the straights aren't actually straights. That's a spin somewhere in Sector 2, edge of Sector 1 somewhere. I believe that was the Aston Martin, but we're going to follow along again with Stewie as we come into the corner that Carlos Sainz crashed into at very high speed. That'll be turn 13. now through 14. This little tricky complex where, of course, he lost it on the outlap. Obviously, doesn't want to do that here. And he takes it very neatly as he comes up the hill for that little turn 15 section there, coming into Sector 3. It's very tricky, actually. You kind of... You lose arrow as you go over the hill and when you crest, so you do need to watch out there. He sets a 132.8, and we're just going to see behind him what the time set. Daikora obviously does go a bit faster, and then his teammate of Aslan comes across the line with a 135.1 that was invalidated. We're going to have to check the, I think, McLarens now. It'll be Sir Harry going to set the next time with a 132.9, putting him up into P4. Not a brilliant showing from him. I believe it's Deng Wu coming through next with a 33.3, good enough for P5. And I say good enough, but that is literally the lowest spot on offer at the moment. We have the Haas, the sole Haas, the only person without a teammate. Obviously, he's going to be starting a hot lap, so that is not interesting to you guys at all. We're going to check the Mercedes at 144. Obviously, going to be starting his. Is that Throttle coming through now? Nope, that is not. That's his teammate who went through it. Sirkal came third. Who's next? Oh, Throttle bins it. Marinkella coming through the last sector. His teammate's just about to finish a lap on those mediums. Sets himself out at P2 on the mediums with a 31.9. That's actually a pretty solid time. Obviously, 8/10 off Daikora, but he is on the harder tires. We'll have to see if the times start to approach him, and he puts himself in danger. Van does put a 31.6 on the board, and Marinkella's actually starting an outlap. That was very, very dumb of me. Throttle's coming across the line, of course, after his little shunty shunt, and I believe that is the extent of people who have not completed a lap. No, Marinkella's obviously going, and let's see where Rose is. Yeah, we can follow Rose along through Sector 2. Ooh, and that is the commentator's curse. Unfortunate for Rose. Real unfortunate for Rose. I wonder if any of the medium runners will be going for a second shot out. And as actually, we can skip over to the Haas here and see how he's getting on. He's going to be coming to complete his first lap on these mediums, and doesn't look like he's going to be warming them up this lap. I think he is going to set a, quote, representative time, 32.8. Thought I was going to be a 33. I'm bad at judging times in this this course. That's fairly good from him. Terry obviously cutting corners to get back home. And who's next? That'll be, is Vinny going to be setting a time here? It looks like he is. No, he's going for another one. So obviously that was a fast lap, a cooldown lap, and now he's going once again. As is Rogue, actually, with Vinny just up the hill from him. Yeah, Vinny's just up the hill from him. I was about to say, looks like Vinny actually did set a time, but it obviously not representative. He probably made a mistake and just wants to take the cooldown lap for his tires. We're following along with Rogue as we come through this actually very tricky turn 3, a very, very long left-hander that you really got to keep your foot in as he goes wide, doesn't invalidate somehow. He might have actually carried a bit of extra speed there. Thank you, Codemasters, as he does get a purple Sector 1 but loses it into the wall. Man, that's gonna... yeah, that's real common today. I've switched to about 4 people who have now spun into walls. I am a good luck charm. There you go. How's Smithy coming along? He's going to be setting his first time across the line. 32.4. Not going to be Brill, but there we go. Who all's next? Looks like maybe, yeah. Looks like Nick will be on an outlap. And, just starting his lap now. And... it'll be Rogue. Throttle on 2-lap-old mediums. I have to suppose he's coming in. Didn't he drop it or something? And, like, I imagine he has wing damage from that. I don't... Ooh. Yeah, these curbs can be vicious. If you hit the orange stoppers at just the wrong angle, they kind of spit you out into the wall, and it's very, very tough. You obviously don't want to ride over it either. Throttle is completely out of battery. So I can only assume this is not a hot lap. That being said, it's a personal best for him in Sector 2. So, there we go. Maybe he will set a time on these mediums. It looks like that's a no, that's just somebody letting somebody else by in Sector 3, just behind Throttle there. And another, yeah, that's a yellow flags for letting people by, and it's a 34-1, good enough for P13, just ahead of Rosefest, who's in P14, with slightly better time, 10.5 better, as it stands. Smithy coming in, that'll be the Alfa Romeo of Cubile on another lap for some godforsaken reason. Stewie is going to be starting his. And who is in the back sector? That's not Rogue. That's not Nick. Nick's coming in. That's not... No, the Haas is actually out of fuel as far as I can see. So whom is on a lap? I know he's on a lap. That'll be X-Max. Just following along here, and it looks like another issue for Alfa Romeo. Is that QB? QB's letting somebody by, that'll be it. Whom's is that? Dicora starting a lap, that'll be his teammate of Ginger, who's just crossed the line to start his own lap. And I want to say, nope. Alright, Van's starting his own lap. Van's teammate Rose is coming behind with an even slower lap. I'm not sure why Rose didn't go in. Was the plan to give Van a tow? Because that didn't work out well for him. That's somebody parked on the side. The entry to turn 2? Is that? Here? No. Here? No. Honestly, I have no idea who that is. Looks like the Alfa Romeos are back in Sector 3. Is QB really going for another one? I mean, this is fit tires, right? Yeah, this is fit tires. He's on 5 lap softs. Is he just going for race practice or something? Or is he, like, towing? He is giving a bit of a tow to his teammate. I mean, he's not really close to affect it that much. Ooh, that's LW2 out of the race. Was that a retirement in the pit? I hope it was. Dicora setting the fastest lap. Let's head on over to Vinny, also setting... sorry, not Vinny. He's coming into the pits. Who's the... Terry. Terry, one of our resident quick boys, is as a personal best Sector 2. And wow! Okay, so that was the incident. Can we quickly hop to SoCal to see what that is? And it looks like the Alpines are actually clear, so we will go back to Terry to see him complete his lap as he crosses the line just behind Rose. He'll be at a 1:30, and he just slows down. Okay? I mean, that's still a good enough time for P6. I'm not sure why he slowed down so much. That could have easily been pole. Okay. Alright, we'll see. That looks like, yeah, QB's retired. LW2 retired. Obviously, I think that one was in the pit lane, but we know for sure QB was not. Yeah, Terry's invalidated, and that's a Red Bull sideways somewhere? Hello, Red Bull? Yeah, that's Rogue. Rogue's into the wall. Let's see if that's Ginger coming by him now. Yeah, it is, and Ginger always has the same. Oh, no! Oh, Ginger ran right into him. Oh, he was expecting a ghosted car. Oh, no, Ginger. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. As we see Van coming through the scene of the carnage. That's, ooh. That's not going to be good for the insurance claim. I mean, that's, you know, dash cam proof of you just driving into someone. But there we go, I guess. God, this is fun. Van slowed up. Oh, no, he's out of fuel. That's why. Rose having a bit of issue even under low speed in the corners, trying to keep it steady. He's being followed by, I don't know, actually. I can't see the color behind him. I'm going to guess that's the Haas. Unless the Haas is already in the pits. So, yeah, I genuinely don't know who that is. Oh, it's a Mercedes. It's Terry. Terry following Rose into the pits, and that was a weird teleportation flash. Not sure what that's about. I'm sure it's not a lobby issue. No, we don't have those here. We do not have those here. Let's see where Nick is. Ooh, he's in Sector 3, about to complete a lap for the first time on those mediums. He did wait till the end of the session, so that'll have to, that indicates a bit of, I don't know, what do you call it, confidence in his performance. Looks like this might be a hot lap. I don't know if he messed up and just saved for the last sector. I'm not able to see ERS deployments. Oh, Chipsy, you have time to talk and chat, but you haven't, don't have time to join the voice channel and save me from being solo? Okay, I see how it is. No, that's fine. Looks like, yeah, Nick and who is the other person who was just following? It looks like they've gone into the pit, so never mind. Nick, ooh, understeering wide through turn 7. I mean, understeer is better than oversteer in that situation, I guess, unless you understeer into a wall. He does invalidate, so, he's leaving himself not a lot of time to get this lap in. Obviously, that is an issue in Russia. It is fairly easy to overstep the bounds because while it is a street circuit, I guess, the barriers are quite far, and you do gain so much time by going wide. So yeah, he's going to have to. I'm not sure why he's still pushing. If I was him, I would save and recharge and go for another, but I guess he has to switch on to the softs just to secure his spot. I don't think the mediums are, or I don't think he thinks the mediums are an option for him anymore. But who knows? We'll have to see. Yeah, it looks like he's angling for the pit lane. Vinny down on his time in Sector 1. Looks like he's going for a fairly quick lap. Again, through this long left-hander of Turn 3. Heavy braking into Turn 4. Mid-apex acceleration, that's very good. Doesn't drift out wide, doesn't get caught on the curbs. We'll have to see how he handles this section. Caught a lot of drivers out today. Throttle is retired from this session. I assume that's in the pit lane. I'm going to hope that's in the pit lane. Now coming to the tail of... Ooh, and yep, he loses it. He loses it. That's car number 5 I've been following. Car number 6, actually, that I've been following that is just plumped into a wall today. You, and say it with me, you love to see it. Because I love to see it. Honestly, like, we may have 20 drivers, but by the end of this race, it's going to feel like we started with 10. Because that's how many are going to finish, probably. I don't know. Somebody can put a poll in chat or whatever. But, Chip, why aren't you a mod? Like, I'm just realizing now, you do not have moderator powers in our chat. Great, that's fine. That is not who I meant to switch to. I meant to switch to the Haas, who narrowly avoids a Williams, who is retired? I'm really not sure what happened there. It doesn't look like a corner that you could especially die from. But we'll have to see. Oh, actually, is Terry on the lap now? I can't actually see. Oh, he's just ahead. He's just ahead. So we will swap over to him as he comes through Sector 2. He's going to have to make sure to keep his nose tidy, especially on these mediums. I guess that is why he slowed up on the softs, because he realized he was that much quicker than everyone else. But I'm interested to see he's up on his time. Sector 2 is coming to a close towards the end of this straight. Right into the braking zone will be Sector 3, so we'll be able to see the sector split. Terry hugging the wall there for, I don't know, a bit of extra aerodynamics. And yeah, so he is 2/10 down on his Sector 2 time, but he is going to do a much faster Sector 3. If he doesn't lose it, he just barely saves it. Smithy gets out of the way. But that was a quick save from a little oversteer moment from Terry in that very difficult section of track. And that is something that we are going to notice a lot today. A lot of drivers are going to be losing the car in very odd places. Terry just putting his car that extra bit wide, 31.3, puts himself into P2 with the mediums, waiting till the end of track evolution for that. Really did him some well, and we can see Rickson coming across the line in P10, and I think he's going to go for one more. Who is now crossing the line? Rose, I guess, is coming across the line. No, that's Van. Van will be coming across the line. Van, only a very small improvement on his Sector 2, but he does improve into P3, knocking Terry back down. And now we can swap to his teammate Rose. Sorry, both of my monitors shut off for a second, so that was fun to deal with. Rose coming across the line in Sector 3. and a second improvement on his time, but only puts him up into P10. That's harsh givings, I guess. Stewie 3K coming across the line. 1/10 improvement doesn't actually improve his position, and I think that is roundabout all for qualifying. Everyone is, going a bit slow. And actually, he's there. Yeah, I was just about to say Max across the line. Terry obviously can't. And I think that is it for everyone. Unless the quality session timer is bugged again. They still have like 5 minutes or something. Oh, and Smithy just, he claps into the wall. That was never going to work. Is he missing a wing or something? Thank you for that brilliant camera angle. Yeah, it looks like he is missing actually an end plate, which is why he's having so much understeering and braking issues. Alright, well that is your grid for qualifying. Decora leads Van and Terry. Max rounds out the top 4. Marinkello and LW2. LW2 being a new driver. Sir Harry Hotspur making his triumphant return. He's actually probably been here for a few races, haven't noticed. SoCal in P8. Vinny, another new guy in P9. Rosefest showing some Ferrari pace in P10. Rickson, Smithy, and Ginger for P11, 12, and 13. Stewie, Nick, Dengwu, and QB in P... I don't know. Where did he end up? Anyway. That's your qualifying. That's what you get, you know? And yeah, it looks like Terry waiting to put on the mediums at the end really benefited him. I think outside of the top 10, he is going to be the only one finishing on those, LW2, obviously retiring and DNFing on the mediums. Both him and Terry, as well as Vinny actually, will be starting on the mediums. Everyone else, obviously, free choice attire in the bottom 10, or the bottom 9 in this case. They are also probably going to be starting the mediums. I think that would be the smart bet, and then I imagine it's a mediums to softs. We got some funny chat messages. Good night. Hello. The podium today will be 100% Brazilian. I don't know. I think Romania's got a driver or two. Sin cheering on Van. I don't know why. We both know how that's going to end, Sin. And Mr. Chipsy apologizing for being on baby duty. Yeah, well, maybe next time keep it in your pants, you know? Just, thoughts from the commentary booth. My life would be a lot easier if you did not have a child, Chipsy. We obviously have no formation lap, and I totally remembered this, and before we're even loaded and ready, we are gone. We are away, and I had no time to set up anything. So apologies if I'm not paying that much attention down the long run into turn 1, and oh my god, that's already a Haas who's dead and out of the race. That's 3 abreast into turn 1 into 2 abreast. Van takes the lead from Decora on the opening lap. That is Van from P2 into P1. That's, Calamity in the back. Not sure exactly what happened there, and I don't think the replay would catch it, and that is a virtual safety car already. A virtual safety car already, which means that Cora cannot go for a move on Van, and everyone's going to have to stay very orderly in line. I don't know what that Ferrari is doing. I hope these new guys have familiarized themselves with our pretty intricate rules, because, that is actually fairly important. Honestly, I'm going to just add that to the bot message without the F1 mods knowing it. We do have special rules about safety cars, telling you to ignore the game and don't unlap yourself and all that brilliant stuff just because this game is trash and it doesn't work half the time. But there we go. The VFC is still going on. The pack is still going. I'm not sure why. I'm 100% sure the virtual marshals would have been able to clear that virtual wreck from that virtual corner in this amount of virtual time. Wonder if anyone's going to get a drive-through. That is the, no, we are under green flags and no drive-throughs. Very nice to see from everyone. That's usually not the case. Wonder how many people are going to be putting lap 1. That was actually a pretty tragic death immediately. And To whoever said the podium will be 100% Brazilian, correct me if I'm wrong, but a Brazilian just crashed on lap 1, and now there are 2 left, or are there 3 left still? I don't know. Van, obviously setting the fastest lap, he's going to get chewed up by Dakora on the way towards turn 1. Actually, they clipped turn 1. This is turn 2, the big braking zone, but we'll have to see how this happens. Nick and Ginger into the pits. Dakora just scooting Van along, actually out of the area, and that's actually Dakora spun. Hello? I guess he hit the rear of Van and just, I mean, lost so much time. You poor soul. And now it is Van leading Terry. Van, I don't know, maybe brake check Dakora. Dakora probably just completely missed his braking zone, tapped Van in the back, and then sent his car uncontrollably. Terry apparently has a different view of the field than us because he is not within the white lines, and I mean, it's just a very creative interpretation. He's already knocked about half a second off of Terry has knocked half a second off of Van's time, back up to 3/4 of a second now, and we are very closely following a lot of battles as Max is dropping down 2 positions, and about to be 3 from his Williams teammate passing him. A lot of these intervals are a bit close. Aslan getting a move done on Throttle, potentially. He's definitely scooting him along into the corner. Looks like he went for the inside, and Throttle leaves the door open, and he actually does get around that. It's QB around the outside. Throttle having an issue and attacking the Aston Martin of Dakora, unfortunately for him. Dakora already had damage. I'm sure he didn't need that in his life. And that is fastest lap after fastest lap dropping. Obviously, DRS not enabled for, I believe... No, it is enabled right now. I don't think Terry... No, Terry definitely does have it. Okay. And he's going to go absolutely for a move on Van here. Van going to go around the outside turn 1, and he very, very narrowly kills Terry there. Wow, that was very close. Terry gonna go for the inside now of turn 4. And he's gonna brake late, and he's gonna force Van out. That is the way. Yeah, he does. And now Van is under attack from Marinkello. Marinkello going up the inside of turn 5 and gets it done. That's Van losing 2 positions in the space of 2 corners, and he's not done yet. The other Alpine is coming for Van's positions. He has them, and the Alpine wants them. That's it. I mean, Van is going to have a very hard time defending here. He's, losing confidence from losing these positions. He's a very emotional racer. I'm completely talking out of my ass. I don't know Van at all. I don't even know if that's his name. But yeah. It's not even his name. It's Vance. I forgot about that. But yeah, Van looks like he's going to be battling this little pack for a while, and the little pack is going to be having a bit of infighting. Maybe that'll let the McLaren of Sir Harry Hotspur catch up in the meantime, but we really don't know. Oh, Van has a moment, and he spun and lost his wing. I'm telling you, he's an emotional racer, man. He lost those positions, and he just couldn't bear it anymore. He put himself in a wall. That is the Van I know. I don't know Van at all. Now Marinkello with the Alpine of LW2 behind him. Marinkello going very, very close to the inside, squeezing Terry. Doesn't want to get pushed like he just saw Van get pushed. Obviously, Terry on those mediums is going to have a bit of a hard time fighting back with Marinkello at the very start, but he is doing it anyway, and he's got the inside, and he is far ahead for turn 4, and he's going to... Oh, he doesn't force Marinkello out. That is not what I was expecting, but, I mean, still very good fighting all around. Marinkello, obviously... just right on the gearbox of Terry, but not only that, he's got an Alpine on his gearbox as well. Rogue gonna be going for a move on SoCal soon enough, I can imagine. And it looks like, yep, he just sails right through, and that's SoCal spun. Very nice move. Good on you, Rogue. And I believe that's Smithy spun as well. Yeah, he's dropping positions real quickly. Looks like LW2 going to be braking hard and understeering. I mean, that was fine. Looked like a bit of understeer just from the wash of Marinkello's Alpine, but I mean, he made the corner. That's all that matters. Marinkello's looking for a good exit through this last little sector, as is LW2. This is, of course, where you can line up the best moves. Rogue going through on Vinny, who has to come into the pits, I imagine, for some damage or something. But here we could watch as Terry peels away. Ooh, and that is a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane from Vinny. And those Alpines is actually a medium soft, medium sandwich, and we're actually going to go ahead and check the... Oh, looks like Vinny's going to be taking those hards to the end, is what I imagined. Literally, the entire field is on mediums, so those soft runners got to look out for each other. That Alpine went very off track. Those, soft runners are going to be keeping an eye on their times, as Terry also goes very off track. Keeping an eye on each other's times to see exactly when that cliff is going to hit. And, I mean, it will be very important for Terry and LW2 to really observe when Marinkello's tires just jump, because they're going to need to know when to come in to stop for their own set of softs to bring it to the end. Obviously, you want to extend your medium pace. They do have better long-term pace than the softs, of course. And it looks like LW2 might be going for a move on Marinkello. Marinkello expertly defends the middle and does not allow LW2 any chance. Flicks back to the right-hand side for the next couple of turns. And that is a Discord notification. Hold on. No bad issues. Okay, that's fine. Apologies for that. Oh my god. Apologies for that. Looks like no action took place. Yeah, Marinkello's still comfortably in P2. Throttle may have dropped a position. Rogue actually takes the fastest lap in the Red Bull, and that is LW2 by on Marinkello. Are those softs falling off? No idea. No idea yet. But it looks like, no, I don't think Marinkello's going to be able to go back for a move just yet. But I think if he chains up the next couple of corners and he doesn't run off track so much and doesn't get any penalties from doing that, I think we'll be A-okay for a move down the next straight. Of course, he does need to stay within at least DRS range, as we see Smithy is now approaching quickly the rear of SoCal as even more fast laps start falling. Smithy on the mediums, and this is, I guess, looking at the pace difference here, I think this might be the crossover time where the mediums and the softs are just about as quick as each other, but not really sure. Sir Harry is definitely closing the gap to that, or sorry, not closing, losing the gap to the pack ahead. He was only a second and a bit a couple of laps ago, but he's definitely lost pace and is unable to recuperate to them. Smithy, obviously, with the benefit of DRS, trying to close onto SoCal, but won't be close enough, at least for this lap. But now we switch back to the fight for P1 through P3, and Marinkello with those soft tires. Daikora out of the race with a spin. If we can see Van's POV of it, yeah, that's exactly where we expected. And that's a full safety car. And the leaders just missed the pits. This is going to be great for SoCal. No, SoCal misses it. But Smithy comes in. Smithy comes in on the mediums. That's an interesting call. Throttle's coming in as well. I imagine everyone's going to come in. Even if you're on the mediums, I'm really not sure what you could do. Maybe go to the softs. Maybe mediums again. Or could you do softs? I'm really not sure, because this is a bit too early to pit for the medium runners, but this is like, I think it's actually pretty good time for the soft runners. I think the mediums can definitely do 20 laps. I'm really not sure. I mean, we'll have to see. Actually, you know what? I know a very easy way I can check. 30% for the Alpine on the softs. So that is, I mean, yeah. I think the mediums, like mediums 20% just about now. That's 7 laps. I think they could easily make it to the end. So I honestly, like, the medium runners kind of got a bit screwed here. I say easily, but I mean, with some tire conservation, I do think the mediums could get to the end fairly well. But we'll have to see and pray and hope that we do not have any safety car fuzziness this race, because that's, boy, has that sucked in the past. Has that really, really sucked to lose races this far in just to a safety car who decides to kill the 2 leaders. I mean, it has happened on multiple occasions. Terry feinting a move to the pits there, or was that just weaving to warm up the tires? I'm not sure. Honestly, I was looking away at that moment, but I saw him dart back, so not entirely sure. But Terry is about to get picked up by the safety car. We'll follow along with him and see if any... Yeah, he does slow down, and I think he's just going to be a bit cautious. He has had moments where the safety car teleports behind him, unfortunately. So that is, something we are on the lookout for. I think he's going to stay a bit far back from the safety car, not get too close. So in case it does teleport, it only glitches a bit back and not all the way past him and compromises the safety car, as we've seen numerous times. Thank you, Codemasters. But that is... I mean, you can see the massive gap. Marankello had 17, over 20 seconds realistically. They've been behind the safety car for a hot second. And, I mean, the gaps are just huge here. So this is really going to be good for, everyone. Rose, Nick, QB, Aslan, Vinny, they're all going to get to catch up and be on the lead lap, which is great. And they're going to crush these 15-second gaps down to almost nothing. Yeah, I really didn't plan anything for the safety car. I honestly thought we weren't going to have one, but then that was a stupid idea, because it's Russia. Of course, people are going to crash into walls and die. I mean, we saw it during qualifying so many times. But, I think the new guys definitely giving some of our older members a run for their money. The two Alpines definitely a threat at the moment. That Williams between them of Dengwu. Actually, you know what? The benefit to Marankello, who did absolutely get to pit, that's going to be such a big moment for him, because he gets a free pit stop onto these medium tires to the end of the race. That is, I cannot overstate how important that is, right? That's, whew. That's, a free pit stop compared to his competitors, and they get to close up. That's it's gonna be big for him, I think, honestly. This is now Marankello's race to lose. That safety car just played so well into his hands. And you can see, even now, a lot of people are coming into the pits to switch. The hard runners, I'm really not sure whether they just don't have confidence in their ability to drive on slightly worn tires. They are a bit harder to keep under control, and of course, traction control does wear your tires just a bit more than no TC. If you're careful. Of course, if you're running no TC and you're spinning your tires constantly and you're heating them up, then they're going to degrade much more quickly. But yeah. The grid's basically reformed. We're weaving around. I would not be surprised if we are in this lap or the next. But we gotta get back under racing soon. Yeah, just looking at I'll go penalties. Nobody's got any big penalties. I think the guy with 5 seconds penalties, did he retire? No, it was off the line, so that wasn't him. I guess he served it under safety car, which is, fortunate for him. If we go to the stops, Stewie, Dengmu, LW2, and Terry, obviously yet to pit. Marankello dropped a single position in order to get that free pit stop, which, it's a price you're willing to pay if you're within a second of P1. And, he's on fresher tires off the start. There's really no reason he can't keep up with these guys. And they're going to have a hell of a time trying to claw back 20 seconds to him on those softs. LW2 setting himself up for the safety car restart. Actually, no, he's not. The safety car is... it's coming in. Okay, he is setting himself up for the restart. That was a really late call from the safety car. Terry now becomes the pace car, gets to dictate the pace. We're going to have to see when he goes, because this is going to be really interesting. LW2 can't afford to warm his tires as much. He's got to be ready for Terry to gun it, because, of course, Terry does have such a long run down into Turn 2, obviously where it matters, and now as we come through the field... It's looking like nobody's having any issues, really. Marinkello getting up in everyone's business. No, he's sticking behind, just taking a couple of quick glances to the inside, but obviously not close enough, especially without DRS, to get anything done on a restart where, I mean, everything went fairly well. Marinkello is looking for a move on that Williams, and he's just not close enough to actually get it done. Both the front runners, P1 and P2, run wide. The entire grid is reformed. It's like we have an entirely new race here, with Marinkello obviously having such a big advantage with those tires. Smithy side by side with the Ferrari? No, he loses a couple of tenths. It looks like, yeah, Marinkello does eventually get past that Williams, who takes him out! And that's... Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. That is Dengwu not out. Marinkello has his race destroyed, and that is a second safety car. That's, Oh, I mean, we can see the replay now. That's heartbreaking. That is what that is. That's heartbreaking. I mean, there's no other word for it. Marinkello is in such a good position to win this race, and it's just completely ripped from his grasp. And now, this might be a free stop for people who didn't get it the first time. Is Terry going to go onto the hards and to the end? Because he obviously can't do the mediums again. He almost completely stops before the line. LW2 following Terry in, of course. That was, wow, such a moment. And back to another safety car. I hope we're still on reduced, because that's obviously not great. Sir Harry Hotspur inheriting the lead on fresh medium tires. He can absolutely take to the end. This is actually looking really good for Terry. For Harry. Terry's going to have to fight his way through the pack. Actually, LW2 and Terry both onto the softs. The softs obviously can't make it the whole way, right? So they are going to be doing a two-stop, I imagine. But yeah, wow. I mean, that's a complete shakeup. Wow. Feels so bad for Marinkello. That was going so well for him, and then he just completely got obliterated. Now it's a question of when are we going to get back underway, because honestly, one safety car is boring enough. Sure, it shakes up the race, but what am I supposed to talk about for 3 laps when there's nothing going on? I've already exhausted most of the strategy talk. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't think Terry or LW2 can bring those softs to the end. I wonder if they're banking on another free stop to go soft. Yeah. I mean, obviously hard's not the right choice. So what is? I wish I still had the data from what... I mean, I can mindlessly speculate. I believe it was around 30% for 7 laps. So if we do a bit of quick calculator math, 30% for 7 laps is roughly 4.5%. And 4.5% for another, it's not even, I mean, it's 16 laps, 4.5%. That's 65. I guess the softs could make it. If you're fine with getting to around 70% wear, the softs could make it. I mean, you'd be pushing them further than the mediums, and it would be really uncomfortable. But I mean, if it's your only option, I guess it's better than nothing. And of course, you know, if you do have the option, or not even the option, if you do have the looming threat of a second safety car, then, I mean, yeah, that's what can you do, really? Yeah, I think honestly, softs, the looming threat of the safety car, the second safety car, third safety car even, would give another free stop to go onto the softs to make it to the end. But yeah, I mean, they're looking at about 70% tire wear, I'd say, just conservatively, depending on, you know, how aggressive they are. They're going to have to fight their way through the pack, but they are on the soft tires, and they're pretty quick, both Terry and LW2, leading the race and putting in a gap of over, like 15 seconds or something to P5, that group. So, yeah, I mean, again, Sir Harry's still in the best position. Those softs are going to fall off after a dozen laps or so, and Sir Harry's still going to have, you know, well enough mediums to get to the end. See, the penalties are actually... That's not what I want to look at. What I want to look at is Smithy, no warnings. That's good. Stewie, no warnings. It's actually important for Terry, who I've seen go off a few times. Where is he? There he is. Only a single warning. So I guess the strategy to... Safety car is in this lap. Okay. But the strategy to avoid getting a warning here is apparently to go long and go wide. If you're going to go off track, don't come immediately back onto it. Just take the entire run off. Rejoin way further down. And that's rear-ending penalties. You always love to see those. And is that QB with a penalty as well? Aslan? Is he spun around? Oh, he's so far from the pack. Did he grab wing damage or something? Is he going to need a pit? Show me the front, show me the front, show me the front, show me the front. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be ducking into the pits. He just doesn't want to get a penalty for overtaking. Missed the restart, but it looks like Smithy, or not Smithy, Sir Harry, used to Smithy being the one in the McLaren doing well. Terry, ignoring yellow flags, gets a penalty for, I don't know, overtaking probably Aslan, who is going into the pits, as well as Ginger, who had to duck in. Terry doesn't have to pit again. He might be able to get that removed if it's a nonsense penalty. So we'll have to see. Stewie and Max both have 5-second penalties from the severe collision. Stewie being the one in front will get that removed. But yeah, so, I mean, it's a chaotic restart. A lot more chaotic than the last ones. Terry is already under direct attack from that Alpine. Terry, just takes a look up the inside of that the AlphaTauri of Throttle, and he's gonna go up the inside, and the Alpine is gonna go along with him as Throttle just goes wide. I don't know, to avoid an incident or something. Doesn't want to take out the one of the faster guys on the grid. I'm not sure what it was, but he definitely went wide. I mean, a fair bit wide over there. That's Sector 2, and that's another car DNF'd, and that's another safety car. I'm sorry, I don't know what I can talk about anymore. Like, we are on reduced, right? I mean, genuinely, I have no idea what we could talk about as Stewie actually comes into the pits. Smart, no, not Smart. Actually, yeah, Smart. He's gonna have to switch off to from his mediums to his softs. Gonna put him back in the grid. Crucially, that is actually gonna save their or serve his 5-second time penalty. So, unfortunate for him, he's not gonna be able to get that removed. But it is under safety car, so it's not that bad. And he goes on to the softs, of course. And I mean, Sir Harry still probably in the best position here. Max, I mean, the amount of laps under safety car. Is he going to be fine? Has he stopped yet? Gap, details, penalties, stops. He has. Can Max take those to the end? I genuinely don't know. He unfortunately has private telemetry, even though we've asked drivers not have private telemetry. That kind of ruins the spirit of everything, as does Throttle, which I guess, like, direct call out, guys, turn on your telemetry, please. It makes it a lot easier for me to tell what's going on and cast. But yeah. I mean, Jesus, what is there to say at this point? You guys want to hear about some linguistic research? I mean, that's like literally all that's on my mind right now. That and petty internet arguments, those are always fun. Did you know that some people believe... That's it, that just some people believe they're stupid. How could you believe anything? Idiots. Rogue's back into the fray. That's nice to see. He's had a pretty terrible race so far, and that's a fairly good recovery from him. Ooh, Oracle! I didn't realize they sponsored a sponsored Red Bull. Does that mean that like the entire Red Bull platform is built on Java? No wonder they had so many reliability issues in the beginning. Jesus. You try one thing, and it's like null pointer exception. Null pointer exception. Index out of bounds. Null pointer exception. That's all JVM wants to say to me. Not, good job, Kia. Nice coding, Kia. Your bot's working fine, Kia. This project's going well. No, it's just null pointer exception. Go fuck yourself. It's great. Thank you. I love you, Oracle. God, what a terrible company. Although I love your ARM-based VPSs. Those are great. Rickson leaving the session after DNFing 15 laps and 3 safety cars ago. Surprised he stuck around that long. I wouldn't have. I'm only here because there was promise of pizza and beer, which sadly undelivered as always in this league. It's a scam. If anyone offers you either pizza or beer, they do not mean it. Are there any viewers left? Like, is anyone actually in chat? Or can I just not say anything? Terry and LW2, obviously going to be the talking point of tonight. Both of... What are their penalties for? Did I just completely miss it? I sin. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, penalties. Ooh, Terry's got 5 seconds, and LW2's got 3. What did Terry do? Terry, you naughty, naughty boy. Oh my god, I read Rickson as racism, and I was like, there's a penalty for that? Oh boy. Oh yeah, ignoring yellow flags. That's hilarious. I mean, not exactly a shit show. It's just been like, somebody put it into the, at least the safety car's coming in this lap. Somebody put it into the wall lap 7, and then we got 1 lap of racing. Somebody else put it into a wall, and then somebody else put somebody into a wall in lap 12. So now we're on to lap 15 after like 3 consecutive safety cars back to back. We do have a new lobby host tonight, so I'm not sure whether they set the settings for safety cars back to reduced as we agreed to actually make that change earlier in the season, because to avoid exactly this situation, we thought there were far too many safety cars going on. But yeah, we started getting none, so I don't know if they changed that back to standard. But Sir Harry, for the second time now, is going to be leading a start. And Max is already on the ERS. And Harry is away with a little snap of oversteer there. And Rogue right on the back of Max already. Is he going to be looking for a move down into the long run to turn 2? Probably not. I don't think anyone's going to be close enough for it other than that AlphaTauri between that Ferrari sandwich of Vans and Rosefest. Terry getting up in front of SoCal, who's now blocking LW2. Terry obviously been fighting them the entire race, so that's a nice bit of a movement there from Terry, who actually is immediately joined by LW2 once again. Terry recovering into P6, obviously pitting from P1, probably the best move strategically for him. Marankello obviously deserved to win this race, but unfortunately those hopes were dashed by Deng Wu, who put him into a wall. This is actually a cool shot. I didn't know they did moving helicopter shots. I thought it was also static. That's actually great. Max obviously getting the hurry up from Rogue. Rogue probably going to be going for a move down into turn, I want to call this 14. I'm not 100% sure anymore. But no, I think Rogue's just a bit too far back, and he hasn't been deploying his energy. Max only on 50% battery. When we saw he was at 100 at the start of the lap, he's been deploying like a madman. Would not surprise me if he was actually out of deployment for this lap. He's very close to it, actually, whereas Rogue still got a lot. Rogue nursing a slide there. Very good recovery from him. Loses a bit of time to Smithy, but that's not going to be an issue. Rogue with all of this battery, and I believe after the next lap is going to be DRS, he's going to have the opportunity to take back the position on Max and get himself up into P2 so he can fight Sir Harry. Max obviously on, double the age of Rogue, essentially, medium tires, but he does not need to pit, as Terry now going to be going for a little look-see. Oh, and that's a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings from Terry. He probably accrued a couple. Yeah, he must have accrued 2 since the last time we checked, which is earlier in this last safety car period. So that was some aggressive racing trying to get back up the top from Terry, who spins LW2. And that is, LW2 going the wrong way to get back around the right way. Looks like there's a bit of movement up the field once again. Terry still going around the outside now of his teammate and spins another car. That's 2 cars that have come into contact with Terry in like 5 corners. We'll have to see how that plays out in the reports channel later. Not making any comments about anyone's guilt at all, because I don't know. I saw one camera angle that was not bad for not good for both things. So please don't blame me. I don't want to get yelled at again for commentary. This is things I do in my free time for you. Rogue right on the back of X-Max after recovering from that gnarly slide earlier. Throttle picking up a penalty, not unexpected. Hope that's not too mean to say. Rogue right on the gearbox of Max here. He's definitely going to be going for a move. Will Rogue even need to deploy? He is at 100% energy, and he's got the DRS. I think he could do it without the energy, honestly, into turn 1. Max also obviously does have the DRS as well, and Rogue is actually conserving. He realizes that that Max can deplete his battery all he wants, but he's not going to get past Sir Harry. So this is just a really patient waiting game from Rogue, and that's what I love about him. He's just such a patient driver. I mean, he can be decisive when he wants to. We're no stranger to him coming from P20 to P12 in one lap when he starts from the back after a poor quali. But we have also seen his just masterclass overtakes and waiting out your opponent and letting them drain their resources, just hanging back and waiting for the right time to strike. And that's what I think is going to happen in the next couple of turns, because yeah, Rogue is at 90% of his battery. He's only going to be deploying a bit, and he's going to be pushing Max to really go after Smithing. He's not going to be able to. Obviously, Rogue is going to have to make sure he's not hitting his curves awkwardly and spinning himself, but we will see. Max obviously has the DRS, as to Rogue. Rogue actually not deploying. Max deploying just a bit. Ginger is retired. That'll be the third car in 7 laps to retire there. Rogue going down the inside, gonna brake just a bit later, and yeah, he does get the move done. Closes the opportunity for Max to go back around the outside. Max obviously not gonna have the battery to really compete with Rogue here. Only 30%. I imagine Rogue's going to be deploying down the straight. Max braking late, understeering, going over, and he actually loses a chunk of time. Rogue, on the other hand, has the DRS. Harry doesn't even have DRS. Rogue's going to be conserving his battery, so he's able to get past Harry, deploy his energy in the next sector before the next DRS zone, and get outside of the DRS range, and that is Rogue done on Harry. And now all Rogue has to do is deploy his battery, get out of DRS range, and he is going to be very safe and sound. Now, Max is going down the inside of Harry there for turn 4. And that is Max gone, and Rogue just slightly up the field. We'll have to see how his battery treats him in the next section, but he is already 6/10 ahead. And Sir Harry is deploying his battery, but he's only at 8%. Max is at 16. They do not have the battery to compete with Rogue, who is at 80%. Rogue could deploy for the next 3 straights in a row, and these guys wouldn't be able to match him. I think it's a brilliant move by Rogue so far. Now, Terry is coming up with a vengeance. Very hot, very steamy here. Things are really heating up. Now, Terry is actually crucially going to be out of DRS range of Max. He might be able to recover the time in the next sector. I mean, the softs, they're just going to be such an amazing braking. Like, they're going to be great. Actually, it is 7 laps. I mean, most of them have been running under safety cars, so it's not going to be that great. Rogue has broken the DRS, though. He's going to be out of the detection zone, and he's going to have the battery to not only fight Max to keep ahead on this DRS straight, but Terry, with those softs and a slightly higher battery and the DRS, is going to get past Max, and now it'll be Rogue versus Terry, and we have not seen this in a couple of seasons. It took a few deaths, a lot of crashes, and a couple of safety cars, but I think we're finally going to get a Terry versus Rogue rematch. Terry with just a very smooth entry and exit there. Max is just dropping like a fly with time to Rogue. Terry is catching up rapidly, and Rogue has got to deploy. Yeah, he's already chucked 20% of his battery out the window, trying to just increase this gap. Up to 2 seconds is going to be harsh. There's 7 laps remaining now, and Terry is, he's got a hard road to fight ahead. He does have the softer tire, the better tires, but they're up to 30% worn, whereas Rogues are still a funky fresh 22. And, again, Rogue has the battery to not only draw this out, Terry's going to get, this might be the last bout of DRS he gets, unless he waits for the main straight, but no, it does look like he's closing too quickly to actually wait for the main straight. He's going to go around the outside, here through turn 14 or 15, not sure which one it is. Jinx out to the right side again and back around. And now it is Terry versus Rogue. Terry has a 2-second gap to recover to Rogue. 1.1 seconds to get into DRS range, and actually looks like he might be dropping just slightly. They're around the same pace at the moment, but I mean, Terry doesn't have DRS. He's going to be fighting back against Max, who will have DRS, and crucially, Rogue is actually deploying his battery. And neither is Terry, honestly. I think Terry's thinking that his natural grip on the sauce can get him through, maybe, but we have no idea. Oh, and Max just takes a 3-second penalty for a nasty corner cut. Of course, Terry does have that penalty, but of course, as we've talked about before, it might be removed at the end. We'll have to see the circumstances under which it was given, and yeah, Terry's still going really, really wide there, and Rogue, impressively not losing too much of his battery, is still able to maintain a very healthy gap to Terry here. 2.2 seconds. It's not really increased or decreased, and that's fantastic actually for Rogue. He's actually putting on about a 10th in the last lap just now, as we saw coming through that sector. Maybe Terry looks like he's recovered it a bit. Terry has put Max outside of DRS range, but crucially he's not clawing any time back to Rogue, and Rogue's tires are only going to get better relatively to Terry's. Terry's tires are going to start falling soon. I mean, it's a task to take those softs to the end. It's already on 35% wear on average, and it's going to take a while. 2.6 seconds down, 3/10 in the last sector alone, and Terry's really struggling to keep up with the Rogue. I think yeah, that's going to be rough for him. Max back within range now. He's also going to be going for the move on Terry. We'll have to see. He's definitely deploying his battery, but as we all know, when you're deploying below 10%, you're inefficiently deploying your battery. You're not getting as much charge as you can, but Max does recover a lot of time. Now he's going to try to go for the outside of turn 3, but Terry just outgrips him, outpaces him, and he's not going to have an opportunity unless he dives for turn 4, and he does not. Very smart move from him. Terry has a moment into the wall, comes back onto the circuit. Is that a lot of wing damage for Terry? I have no idea. Yeah, that is 36% on his right side, and into the wall again. Is that a DNF for Terry? No, thank God. That's his entire wing gone, and that's... wow. Oh, that was a moment. Let's see that again. That's Terry out of contention for this race. Dropping like a fly. Rogue's gonna come home to actually a very solid win here from... what position was he on the grid? Let's just see. Wow, all the way from the back. Those safety cars helping out immensely. Honestly, that should have been Marinkello. But Rogue, if he can keep it together for the next... and that's Terry completely out. Has he like, beached into a wall, or is he just retired on track? I'm not sure. I mean, we could check with SoCal. Yeah, that looks like he's just missed the braking and put himself into the wall completely. But yeah, I think this is going to be an easy victory from Rogue, unless he get like a major penalty or something. He can just Sunday cruise home to the finish. 4 laps left in this race, and there's still fights to be had. Van on the back of Smithy, clawing back for the past couple of laps. We've been watching this in the background. He's not going to be able to get close enough. Smithy obviously braking a bit earlier and stopping a bit of Van's momentum. Doesn't brake as smoothly as Van would have wanted to, but that's okay. He's going to catch him in the next sector. Oh, and yeah, catch him a bit too quickly. He did rear-end Smithy, I believe for the second time now that Smithy's been rear-ended, and Deng Wu gets past Van, and Deng Wu rear-ends Smithy. Maybe Van was actually rear-ended by Deng Wu, who sent him into Smithy, but now they are almost 3 abreast, but Smithy still keeps the position. Deng Wu still fighting for it, and I mean, this is a battle and a half here. Deng Wu does get by on those soft tires. Does Van have wing damage? Yeah, it looks like he's missing an entire end plate. That's very unfortunate for Van. I mean, I'm just going to say, we need 2 more retirements before my prediction of 10 people finishing is correct. I want to get that out there. This has not been a brilliant race for ARC showmanship. My goodness. Now, Kibele is going to be getting the move done on Van. Van obviously struggling with the wrecked wing no end plate there. I wonder if he's going to pit. Probably not worth it in the last couple of laps, but he is going to be dropping a lot of time. And yeah, actually, he will be coming into the pits. With is that another car in front of him? Yeah, that's the Dengwu, actually. Probably lost his own wing rear-ending Van. Now, Smithy will be having to fight Max. Max, obviously, who had that little tussle earlier and dropped a few positions down the order. He's back onto the fourth and probably has a vengeance. Sir Harry up into P2 again. Very well driven from him. Obviously, was looking for a while like he might win. That third safety car just, I mean, it came out and wrecked him. Actually, the safety car, like, destroyed everyone's race. It destroyed Marancello's. That was unfortunate. And then, first it gave Marancello a race, and then it destroyed it. Smithy struggling 50% on the medium tires. He's going to have a bit of trouble bringing it to the end. We can see the ages of each tire now. Yeah, Smithy has been driving those tires very hard. He's a full 15% above QB, who just dives him. What an absolute monster move there. But yeah, Smithy obviously struggling. I think he might... Yeah, he's completely lost a wing. And that'll be unfortunate for him. But that means Kibele coming into P3 in less penalties. I mean, we could check penalties right now. Details, penalties, 6 seconds. So it does look like Stewie 3K might get his first podium of ARC if he can keep his nose clean. How many... Or sorry, not first podium of ARC. First podium of Tier 1 at least. How many warnings does he have? 2 warnings. Ooh. And that's actually, I mean, he's got to keep it clean for the next couple of laps. I mean, no amount of time saved is worth another 3 second. My heart just stopped there when I saw a 3 second penalty. I thought it was for Stewie, even though I could clearly see he wasn't over the line. Rose catching him, though. That might be a podium for Rose, who is, of course, on fresher tires. No, they're about the same. They're about the same in terms of wear. I'm not sure about pace. I do know that Rose is in general a faster driver than Stewie, so I do think that Rose might be able to snag that podium position. It depends on how vehemently Stewie fights for his teammate's spot. Maybe you can slow Rose up to a 6 second gap for Aslan, but who knows really. But yeah, I mean, Rogue just cruising to a very silky smooth Sunday drive finish. Very nice from him. Rose, very close to Stewie now. I'm imagining a move down this straight or the next. Looks like Rose tried to close for the outside into that turn there, but did not get it exactly right. Unfortunately, Rose... Oh no, that was just normal chuttering. That wasn't, that was not game breaking. That's great. At least they fixed the engine noises, right? Fix your game. I mean, the formation lap worked, so I guess we'll keep that off for the rest of the season. That's nice. And Rose deploying energy. Now just up to the DRS line. He's got the DRS now. He's got a lap and a half to get this move done on Stewie. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. They're absolutely definitely within range, both of them, of Aslan. So he's going to be kicked down to P6 at least. Sorry, to P5. Not P6. Van takes the fastest lap point away from I don't know who. I think somebody just said it right in front of him, so whoever's in front of him, Dengwu. And it looks like Van might be going for a move on Dengwu at some point. Yeah, Van's following very, very close. He's obviously hungry for this move. Van also having a pretty poor race at the beginning. Hasn't recovered quite as well as Rogue, who obviously failed to qualify well. Rose not closing close enough to Stewie on that last straight. Perhaps this is tactical thinking by Rose. I mean, he is dropping positions to Aslan, but I mean, or dropping seconds, I should say, in the gap to Aslan, but that doesn't matter as long as he remains within 6. And I'm imagining, now that we're on the final lap, that Rose is going to go for it. He's been saving his battery, conserving, and I think we're going to see an all-out push on this straight. Stewie, obviously, no assistance of DRS. Rose has the battery, has the tires, has the DRS. Stewie's got to be falling off. Stewie defends to the middle. Rose goes to the outside, and I think he's got this move done before they even hit the corner. Stewie breaks late, forces Rose wide. Rose does get the position, but that was a valiant defense by Stewie, if not a little foolhardy. Stewie looks like he might be coming back, though. He is completely out of battery, whereas Rose still has a lot to fight with. So I think just on this last lap, I mean, there is one more DRS straight to go before anything's final. But yeah, I think that's the that ought to be the position for Rose with a podium, thanks to the demotion of Aslan. And we'll have to see whether Van can recover into this P8 from Dengwu. I think they're both probably going to get a position on Vinny, who obviously has a penalty. As we can see, Rogue BMing so hard, entering the pits to win. That's just unsportsmanlike, really. That's what that is. I wonder, are they actually going to change his tires, or he's just going to drive through? I guess he's just driving through because they would have pit him already. God damn, that's BM. Yeah, Rose, I mean, keeps the position off of Stewie, and that's Rose podium. Your podium is Rogue, Sir Harry, and Rose. Obviously, Rogue is going to be the driver of the day, of which the game will say, and I will concur. Vinny crossing the line now with those at least 6 seconds penalties. Van obviously doing the the classic douchebag thing of just crashing into the wall over the start line. You think you're cool, but you're really not. You want to be cool? Finish in the pits. Okay? Okay, child? Throttle crosses the line, and that is game. Game, set, and match. Really well driven from Rogue. Very unfortunate for Marankello. I think he really had the opportunity to win that race. Just unfortunate circumstances brought around his demise. And Rogue takes a bow. What a pretentious little cutscene. Let's grab the result screenshots. And the race director incidents. And for the first time in a while, we're going to have a little driver interview, if available. So, hang on. Hello. Hello, Rogue?
Hello there.
Hello, Rogue. Welcome to the driver interview.
Been a while.
Yeah, it has. I mean, when was the last time you won? Do you know?
Too long to count or to remember. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you and Terry having a fight, that was certainly a callback. Now, I just have one question for you. Was the pit lane finish BM really necessary?
I'm back. I mean, come on. Hey, I had a gap, man. I gotta do it, dude.
I mean, the pit lane is tiny, like
yeah,
to the start line.
Really,
so
I barely lost any time doing it, but I mean, still, it was fun.
You're not afraid you're gonna get hit with like a 10-second penalty and it's gonna ruin your race?
I could care less.
All right.
It's all right, you know.
Well, that was all for tonight, so thank you, Rogue, for joining us. Congratulations on being driver of the day from one of the classic Rogue performances of qualifying terribly and coming P1. I'm so not glad that's back. That was Rogue. Thank you. That'll be the end of tonight's broadcast. I've been Kia, and this has not been